The world watches with bated breath as former US President Donald Trump, in his trademark bombastic style, has once again thrust Iran's nuclear ambitions into the global spotlight. His recent pronouncements, heavy with threats of military action, have sent shockwaves through the international community and ignited a powder keg in the already volatile Middle East. Trump's message, delivered with characteristic bluntness, warned of bombing the likes of which they have never seen before if Iran doesn't toe the line on a new nuclear deal. Iran, for its part, has responded with a mix of defiance and cautious diplomacy. While categorically rejecting any possibility of direct talks with the Trump administration, Tehran has hinted at the possibility of indirect negotiations. This delicate dance, a high-stakes game of diplomatic chess, underscores the precariousness of the situation. The specter of conflict looms large, a stark reminder of the volatile history between these two adversaries. The world holds its breath, caught in the crosshairs of this war of words. The stakes are incredibly high, with the potential for a catastrophic conflict that could engulf the entire region. The coming days and weeks will be crucial, as both sides maneuver for advantage in this dangerous game of nuclear brinkmanship. At the heart of this escalating crisis lies Iran's nuclear program, a source of international concern and a lightning rod for Western suspicions. Iran has consistently maintained that its nuclear ambitions are purely peaceful, intended solely for energy production and other civilian purposes. However, the international community, particularly the United States and its allies, remains deeply skeptical. The crux of the issue lies in Iran's enrichment of uranium, a process that can produce fuel for nuclear power plants but also, at higher levels, the fissile material for nuclear weapons. Recent reports from international inspectors have set alarm bells ringing. Iran, according to these reports, has ramped up its uranium enrichment to 60%, a level that is perilously close to the 90% threshold required for weapons-grade material. Experts estimate that, at this rate, Iran could amass enough highly enriched uranium to build a nuclear weapon within a matter of weeks. This alarming development has heightened fears that Iran is moving closer to acquiring the ultimate weapon, a prospect that has sent shockwaves through the region and beyond. The international community is now faced with a stark choice: find a diplomatic solution to rein in Iran's nuclear program, or brace itself for the potentially catastrophic consequences. Donald Trump's approach to Iran's nuclear ambitions has been characterized by a hardline stance, a policy of maximum pressure designed to cripple the Iranian economy and force Tehran to yield to U.S. demands. This strategy, first employed during his presidency, has been resurrected with renewed vigor, signaling Trump's determination to confront Iran head-on. The cornerstone of Trump's maximum pressure campaign is the reimposition of crippling economic sanctions, measures designed to strangle Iran's oil exports, its economic lifeline. These sanctions, according to the Trump administration, are intended to starve the Iranian regime of the resources it needs to fund its nuclear program and its support for regional proxies. However, critics argue that these sanctions have had a devastating impact on ordinary Iranians, pushing the country to the brink of economic collapse. They contend that the sanctions have only served to strengthen the hardliners within the Iranian regime, making a negotiated solution even more elusive. Trump, however, remains undeterred, convinced that his hardline approach is the only way to bring Iran to the negotiating table and prevent it from acquiring nuclear weapons. Section 4. The JCPOA, a deal undone, a crisis unresolved. Looming large over the current crisis is the shadow of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the landmark nuclear deal signed in 2015 between Iran and 6 world powers: the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Russia, and China. The JCPOA, hailed as a diplomatic triumph at the time, was designed to curb Iran's nuclear program in exchange for the lifting of international sanctions. However, the deal was dealt a fatal blow in 2018 when Trump, in a move that drew international condemnation, unilaterally withdrew the United States from the agreement. Trump argued that the JCPOA was fatally flawed, failing to address Iran's ballistic missile program and its destabilizing activities in the region. He also claimed that the deal's sunset clauses, which lifted restrictions on Iran's nuclear program after a certain period, were unacceptable. The Biden administration, which took office in 2021, expressed a willingness to rejoin the JCPOA and engage in negotiations with Iran. However, these efforts have so far failed to bear fruit, hampered by mistrust on both sides and the complex political realities in both Washington and Tehran. The collapse of the JCPOA has removed a crucial constraint on Iran's nuclear program, paving the way for the current crisis. Section 5. International Alarm Bells, Global Reactions to the Escalation. The international community has reacted with a mixture of alarm and condemnation to the escalating tensions between the United States and Iran. World leaders have expressed deep concern over Trump's bellicose rhetoric and his decision to abandon diplomacy, warning that such actions could have catastrophic consequences. The United Nations has called for restraint, urging both sides to return to the negotiating table and find a peaceful resolution to the crisis. The European Union, which played a key role in negotiating the JCPOA, has also expressed its dismay at Trump's actions, stressing the importance of upholding the nuclear deal. However, despite these pleas for calm, the drums of war continue to beat louder. The world watches nervously as the two adversaries lock horns, their every move scrutinized for signs of escalation or compromise. The stakes are incredibly high, and the outcome of this standoff will have profound implications for global security.